Bloomington's affordable housing goal for 2021 to 2030 is established at 842 new affordable units. The Met Council sets the overall goals and then breaks that goal down into housing that's affordable to people at different income levels, generally at households at incomes of 80, 60, 50, and 30% of AMI, area median income. The area median income in Bloomington is just less than $125,000. So you've heard me say before that it's better, I think, more useful to talk about this in terms of housing that people can afford. Affordable housing, that notion comes with a lot of baggage. So we talk about housing that people can afford. Households at the 60 or 80% level of area median income, those are households making between $75,000 and $95,000 a year, who we know it's difficult for them to own or to rent an apartment in Bloomington. We are working to make housing that people who work in Bloomington can afford and live in Bloomington. These are our teachers. These are the folks working in our high-tech industries. These are our first-year firefighters. These are people in our hospitality industry. We are committed to that notion of if you work in Bloomington, you should be able to afford to live in Bloomington. And I'm proud to say that we're doing really well on the 60 to 80% AMI levels, but it won't surprise you to know that creating housing for people who need deeply affordable housing, people at the 50 or 30% AMI, that is a challenging nut to crack. We still have significant work to do on our goals for deeply affordable units. And speaking of tough nuts to crack, affordable home ownership is even a tougher nut to take on. We know that owning a home is one of the keys to generational wealth, especially among our communities of color. So we were very excited last December when the Bloomington Housing and Redevelopment Authority was awarded nearly $3.2 million to build 27 new single-family homes. The Bloomington Affordable Home Ownership Program will serve households at or below 80% AMI with the goal of lowering the cost barrier for homebuyers and creating and preserving affordable housing. This program also advances the city's racial equity business plan because it provides a strategy to eliminate racial disparities, including inequitable access in housing. I'm going to show you a picture here, folks. This is a photo of a home that was prohibited in Bloomington before May of 2023. Bloomington's zoning standards prohibited this type of housing because the house wasn't big enough, it was only a one-stall garage, and the lot wasn't large enough or wide enough. The house was allowed in 1940, that's when it was built in north central Bloomington. And I am happy to report that housing like this is again allowed in Bloomington. The City Council made major changes to residential zoning provisions to stimulate more housing production, promote home ownership, and lower housing costs. Now, I know full well that these changes we made aren't going to drastically change any neighborhood in the city of Bloomington. We also know that it's not going to magically or immediately lower the cost of housing in Bloomington, but they will provide an incremental benefit. There is evidence that easing zoning restrictions slows the rapid rate of increase in the cost of housing over the long term. As I said a couple of times earlier, I want people who work in Bloomington to have the opportunity to live in Bloomington. Let's take a look at one program that does just that.